Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Victoria to the Grand Combination with me, Omega, and the Ottoman Empire. So the last episode was excruciating to say the least. I still stand by my decision to pretty much just give up and let the history run its course because as I mentioned, I think I mentioned it, but what happened here is the perfect representation of the real world situation. There was a war between Ottoman Empire and Russia in 1877 and 1878, where Ottoman Empire, after some initial successes, pretty much completely collapsed, and only the international intervention stopped the Russian forces from conquering Constantinople. If I'm not mistaken, they got as far as Edirne. And there was pretty much no resistance for them to, not take Constantinople without the international coalition to actually pressure Russia into stopping. And the Balkan states were, established as they are right now in the game. So we have pretty much to the letter followed the historical course, though we have done it about 7 to 8 years earlier. And we have avoided the casualties of war. But now we have to deal with the aftermath. Interestingly, it didn't really hurt us much in the sense of our position. We lost most of the prestige, unfortunately. But it also gives us something to deal with. I wanted to take the Balkans back. We worked very hard for them. And this sort of... what would you call it? This betrayal is really, really, really painful for me. Now, we lost all of the Balkan nations. They are all in the sphere of Russia with the exception of autonomous region of Eastern Rumelia, which is still our. But as I mentioned, we are going to go after them, and I'm going to make sure that we bring back this territory under our control, sooner or later. The bad part, though, is that, the actual bad news, let's put it this way, this is bad, but we can manage. The actual bad news that we're facing right now, though, is the fact that we have lost relations with all of the great powers. United Kingdom, pretty much our, major partner, hate us. Russia hates us. France hates us completely. Who else is the great power right now? I don't think... Japan kind of likes us. United States absolutely hate us. Germany hates us. So, yeah, we're really not doing good when it comes to relations. And that's going to be much more of a problem than anything else. Because if Russia invades, and they are poised to do so very soon, there is nothing we can do to stop them. Apart from the fact that we're just gonna start spamming troops like crazy and build up our armies to make sure that we can force them back if it comes down to it. So that's gonna be what we're gonna focus on next. We're gonna try to prepare our position in a way that in case of a war with Russia, we'll be able to resist them. We won't, spoiler alert, but we will try to. So, let's unpause, see what the game brings to us. We have a starving population, but that should fix itself again. We've had a number of projects that were actually taken away from us. We'll need to look into those. I'm gonna focus heavily on armies, which, as you can see, already doing, but we're gonna focus on them even more. So Aydin needs a textile factory, and there are development banks here and there which we're gonna fund. You actually funded this one on your own. Alright. Let's fund the textile factory. Let's keep repaying the loans. And let's start putting these armies back together, because we really, really, really desperately need to put up a bit more of a defense between us and the Russians. Now, what we're going to focus on is building forts on the Caucasus front, where actually Russia had massive successes during the war with the Ottomans. They weren't able to hold this area, and the fact that we can't even build forts here speaks volumes. So once we finish the technology that we're doing right now, which is the high pressure steam engine, we're going to go with the strategic mobility and start building forts. The good news is these areas will give them a huge attrition, so if we can fortify them properly, Russia is going to take massive casualties just by default, by being there, pretty much, if you want to say it that way. First Minister appointed. Oh, nice. A landed gentleman. Not gonna complain about that one. Alright, we're making massive bank here. So let me just save up a little bit more and we'll see what we can do. Atheism is a doctrine or belief that there is no God. People sharing this belief often resort to different means to compensate for the lack of a higher figure. By the way, just so you know, the amount of troops that were fighting in the 1877 to 1878 war was roughly 200,000 on each of the sides, and there were puppets fighting as well, which dramatically increased the amount of forces, but there was no point where Ottomans faced such a massive army as Russia has in the game. Like, this is literally crazy. I can't imagine how we would even fight them off at this point. You want to build another heavy armament factory, really? Because the previous 10 worked so well. Okay, so I think I'm going to increase the investments here. What's the support for the socialists? It's 8.1. Alright, well. Baha'i followers in Agaba. Now, you guys are done. Yeah, many of our many of our units are. Okay, so this is an artillery. Alright, so you definitely need to go over there. It's going to be a little bit hard to realize where we're going to put each of these units, but the good news is that right now we have mostly Turkish military, and it's going to continue, at least for the time being, which is the good news. Alright, build more universities, build more railroads. This also kind of shows the bittersweet situation where the great powers pretty much abandon you and decide your fate without you. We have very good experience, and in quotation mark with that, as Czechoslovakia during the Munich Agreement era, so it just makes you wonder. But again, nothing is lost. Let's see if we can regain some of the territories. It would be good to, rise from the ashes like a mythical beast. But we'll see if it's possible. Alright. So another army is going to be finished very soon. I'm going to desperately try to start improving relations with Russia, because that is what we need to get out of the way if we want to survive. Populism versus establishment. For gaining power, the would-be politician would usually try to obtain the support of people already well established in the elite. It was the easiest road for climbing the power ladder, but a minority of them, mostly coming from a more liberal bourgeoisie, bet instead on the support from the uneducated masses, excluded from the political scene. So +1 prestige. Alright, 513, 514, alright. So now you guys need to get in here. Are we still recruiting? Yeah, we are. Okay, 2 more infantry units. And 1 more artillery unit for this army. The railroad in Aydin. I guess our guys decided we need all of the heavy artillery factories in the world. It's just crazy. Alright, well, what can we do? What can we? This is the map as it has been drawn right now, and we won't help anyone by being bitter about it. We won't, even if we feel like it. Alright, I'm gonna fund the factory, because if I don't, they're just gonna be sore about it. Ankara, Bursa, Konya, and Constantinople. Alright, how much? 1185. Alright. Make capitalists great again. Tensions dissipate. Alright, well. Good. It's actually worth noting that before the war with Russia, there was a series of massive uprisings in the Balkans, which the Ottomans had really hard time suppressing, and they've done some, heinous atrocities in the aftermath. So, the international intervention wasn't, fully, would you even call it, like, unjustified, because they certainly did a ton of stuff that they shouldn't. So I'm not saying that, it wasn't something that couldn't be seen from miles away, but you get what I'm trying to say. We haven't done anything so heinous. Well, actually, when I think about it, many of the decisions that I'm doing are questionable. Would be a nice word for them. So nice that I'm actually not entirely sure I should even use it, because generally speaking, we have not been great people. Alright, so you're gonna get that artillery piece and you'll be finished. You're gonna get that infantry and you need 2 more. So these 2 are gonna come to the 3rd army. That means all of these are done, and you guys need an additional artillery piece. So let's recruit it from Mashriqi Heavy Armament. So that's gonna put our 5 armies back into functioning order, which is a far cry from Serbian Patriots. That's interesting. Alright. Well, at this point, it is absolutely crucial for us to not let them gain any territory permanently, because if they do, they're gonna join it to, surprise, surprise, Serbia, which is not something that we want, because they are no longer under our sphere. And if we declared war on Serbia, we would drag Russia into a bloody war. Speaking of Russia. Alright, you guys are here. So you can go over there. We'll have to leave you out of that fight, because your army composition is absolutely brutal. Not at all what we need to see. Alright, so you guys are fighting very well, actually. Clear out you guys. The Greek Congress, awesome. That's what I wanted to see. Let's get the troops here and have them attack. You will go after these. And military. Militant socialists. Really? Battle of... Oh God. Alright, well, that's not great. But it's manageable. These are fairly small armies. So let me just clear them out. Alright, now we should be able to get them under control. Alright, you guys can support this fight. I wasn't expecting to have two revolts of this kind at the same time, but unfortunately that seems to be the case for us. Alright, well, you can go this way. That is actually a really bad idea. Okay, you have to go this way then. Secularization. Secularization is an activity of changing something, like art or education, so it is no longer under control or influence of the religion. The doctrine also proposes to transfer property from ecclesiastical to civil positions, not unlike what we were already doing. Intervene immediately. Oh my God, we're murdering them. Which in a way is good, of course. Okay, you need to join this army. Keep the discriminatory policies alive. Okay, we're gonna reconquer these territories and go clear the rest. Yeah, alright, well, by defeating the Serbians, we've pretty much just won this entire thing. I'll take the larger army and start clearing the areas over here to make sure we have control. One of you guys you're gonna retake this territory, you will move south, and that's that. Meritocracy versus aristocracy. Birth and blood has always been an unbearable limit for the ambition of the bourgeoisie. For them, logically, men with talents and merits should be promoted. However, the privileges of the old aristocracy keeps the commoners into inferior strata, as only nobility of birth and tradition would be the sole determinant of the fittest of men. Alright, I'm gonna then go to Yozgad and sell back. You move this way. Okay, I think this one has been taken by the militant socialists, so it's not such a big thing. But we still need to do what needs to be done. Alright, so you take this area. You guys are going to clear these ones out. Alright, so we take this and go. I don't want to attack here because they got a ton of troops. And these numbers are not in our favor at all. Actually, you guys go to Adana, that's gonna be faster, and I'll send the ships to pick you up. And you... Alright, for you that's gonna be better to go this way. So make sure we take the territory in time. Alright, go. Yeah, we got them pretty much covered now. Unless we get another revolt, we'll be fine. Will we get another revolt? The Jacobin rebels and the Bulgarian patriots could rise, but those numbers are manageable. It's nothing too bad. I know that I'm blocking my progress here by sieging here, but these territories have been taken by the Serbian patriots, so we need to make sure they will not be the ones controlling it, because they could easily connect it to the enemy territory. And it's why it's imperative that we take it. Armenian uprising. You guys go this way, just siege. Alright, all of the money that we saved has been lost by now, which sucks. But it's better than accruing debt. Alright, this has been cleared out, so we can go here. No, here then. And our army is performing really well. I can't really complain about anything they're doing. When we arrived 29th of October, which would be way before the enemy ships. Oh, sorry, not enemy ships, but our ships attack the enemy. Alright, we have one. You guys can go this way. You guys can go this way. Hey! The Egyptian came to the rescue. Cool, so the uprising has been suppressed. Both of them actually. Unfortunately, damage to the economy has been done, as usual. Okay, our army is now full. The rest of them not so lucky though. We've lost some regiments here and there. Yeah, pardon me. So, not a great state of affairs. Ignore the issue. Acquire resources. Alright, I need more Turkish infantry units. and more artillery, which I'm fine with taking from our minority regimes. Populism. Populism is defined either as an ideology or a political philosophy or a type of socio-political thought that compares the people against the elite and urges social and political system changes. Alright, more infantry units here and there. So who needs them? You guys do. Keep you in the port over here, and you also need it. Somebody needs the cavalry. You guys need the cavalry. Alright. So where's the hussars? Let's kick the Greek hussars. That sounds right. Okay, I'll lower the financing. Lower the financing here, so that our debt isn't further exacerbated. We have a ton of projects. A glass industry and a cement industry. Alright, we'll fund those. First though, we need to have the situation settle down a bit. Take the navy. Keep improving relations with Russia. Keep improving. It's almost hopeless, but just keep doing that anyway. Build and fund the projects so that we keep moving. The militancy didn't drop as far as I expected it to, unfortunately. It's a little bit unsettling, but what can I do? Okay, funded a number of these projects. Provinces under control. Great. So you guys get on the ships. Go to this army over here. And then heavy armaments industries proving themselves by helping us recruit a heavy armaments regiment over here. We lost most of our prestige by now. That's bad. Okay, fund the projects. So I think I'm gonna have the military re-establish itself for a bit more. Okay, you're supposed to go where? Over here, alright. Alright. So you guys are now a little bit more organized. So we're gonna put one regiment here, the hussars here, that's gonna be taken care of. One more infantry unit here, and the rest will serve as a strengthening of the Constantinople army, or the Imperial army as it's called now. So let's repay the loan. Now we can cut the budget to minimum, increase the education budget and administrative budget again, and call it an episode. So we have successfully suppressed people that hate us. Let's enact limited regulations in our factories, which helped a little bit. Not by much, but it helped a little bit, and that's all that matters. Let's build a chemical plant and a development bank. I'll leave the poor guy be. Force the Ottoman curriculum. Well, the high pressure steam engine is gonna come soon, and our infamy is almost at 20. So I think it's time that we actually start working on justification. Liberate country, huh? Doesn't really... How do we feel so? Free people from oppressors, liberate country. I'm not entirely sure how these justifications work, so I'll need to look into that a little bit before we use them. But again, it's a good place to end the episode for that. Alright, so we'll need to strengthen the army. We've already spoke about that. Is there any place where we could build a fort? We could build it here. We just need 10,000 pounds. And here. And here, actually. Telegraph coordination. Alright. By coordinating units, by communicating and sending orders by telegraph, the operational speed of units and decision making increases vastly. So army organization plus 5%. More supply consumption though. But that's fine, you know. It's not like we are struggling for anything. So our armies are maybe even in a better shape than they were at the start of the war. We'll just get a couple more regiments, one infantry and one... no, actually one artillery. No, one infantry and one hussars. And we'll be done. That means that... Wait, did I say one artillery and one... No, one infant. Okay, so the new army is gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 units of infantry and 1 unit of artillery, and I think I'm gonna join them with the Imperial Army. I was talking about it before that I would like to have at least one army of 60k, so I think at this point we can easily do that. We have a ton of eligible regiments. So we're going to bump that up. And after that, we're going to start working on the 5th army, which is going to be located around Adana, and it's going to be another 30k. That should give us a little bit more military power, and we need to start building those forts, which is going to be very, very interesting. And you guys want to build an ammunitions factory, but we already have one, don't we? Yes, we do have one in Ankara. And it's not doing bad. Might be a good idea.